We're live on YouTube. Got to get Instagram pulled up now. All right. We're doing the dang thing. What's good with it, nieces and nephews? We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. Double live stream. I'm going to let the doggo in so he's not too warm. Come on, bud. So, that's a champion right there. So, as the title suggests, as I asked you all on Instagram in the poll, would you like to see or live stream for one part that I do for my hip recovery? Everyone that voted yes. I think there was a total of 5 votes, which is actually, I was impressed with that. That was a good turnout. Let me go ahead and scoot this back a little bit so we have a better view. Get this ball out of the way. There we go. So, yeah, we did a poll and people agreed. Yes, let's do it. Oops, I need to tilt this down just a little bit, it looks like. There we go. So, we're doing it. These exercises, all of them are, well, there will be one that's standing up. Let's say 90% of them are on the floor. So if you have a yoga mat or some kind of cushioning that you can be on, that would probably be great. But if you're hardcore like that and you want to do it from your carpet or hard floor or whatever the case, that's cool too. It's not super exertive, and not like super exertive, if that's a word. Doesn't require a lot of exertion. You can kind of play by that depending on how you're feeling. But all of these movements and lack thereof, there's a lot of isometrics that are going to be involved. They are all things that I do. This split is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. In a few weeks, I'll do another live stream that shows what I do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And in between now and then, I'm going to do a live stream where I plan to show what is good for a warm-up, just as an overall warm-up. If you're new to fitness, if you're trying to figure out what it is you need to do to stay limber, stay active even, and to avoid injury, certainly something that I want to share with you all. And again, if these don't work for you or if you don't enjoy them, don't do them. But I've noticed nothing but progress. It took a little while to notice a difference, as the case with anything, probably about 3 months to really notice strength and mobility and everything come back. That's when I started to notice anyway. But the chiropractors noticed things much sooner than that, probably within about 6 weeks in terms of flexibility, pain grade, stuff like that. So without further ado, if you have your mat, cool. If you don't need one, that's fine as well. First thing that we're going to do is called hip CARs, controlled articulated something. I forget the exact acronym. Also just called fire hydrants for some of you that may know. So a fire hydrant would just be doing adduction and abduction. But doing a CAR, we're going to do flexion, abduction, extension, and adduction, basically making a circle with your knee. So what I do, get my hands about shoulder width, just kind of wherever you're comfortable in terms of distance from your knee. We're going to bring the knee up, out, kick back as far as you can. Whenever you kick back, you're going to want to point your toe up into the air, bring your knee in toward you, and then repeat up, back, into the center, and continue. So we're doing adduction, flexion, abduction, extension. We'll do 5 times. No, BK, stop it. 5 times that way, and then we're going to do just the inverse. So extension, abduction, flexion, adduction. That for me is a lot easier. But again, you're just making really big circles with your knee. That's how I think of it. So we did 5 or so in each direction that way. We're going to do the same thing on the other leg. Up, out, back, in, up, out, back, in. We're going to do that 5 times, going, I guess, counterclockwise in terms of how a circle would work. And then we'll do it 5 times going clockwise. Again, for me, clockwise feels a lot more natural, a lot easier. Or at least I feel that I'm doing more in terms of range of motion. But whatever it is different for everyone. This will probably make you sweat, especially if you're not in like a ventilated area. I'm going to go ahead and turn this fan on. I hope that it isn't too noisy. So from here, after I do those, I do my best to just go immediately into a pigeon pose. So let's just say that I just finished my last circle there. I then take my foot, cross it in front of me as far as I can, and ideally I want to line my knees up to one another. Front knee lined up to the back knee the best I can. Palms again about shoulder width. From here, I'm going to press in with the heels of my hands toward my knee and my knee towards the heels of my hand, all in the center. 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to press the knee towards the right hand and right hand towards the knee. And do the same thing. 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. You should feel that stretch on the outside of your hip. What up, Steven? I can't see. Hey, Chance. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you in here as well, Steven. I hope you're doing well in Michigan. Now you're going to do just the opposite. We just did knee to right hand. Now we're going to press left hand towards our knee and knee towards our left hand. Get out of here, dude. And knee towards our left hand. 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Again, you're going to do 3 in the center, 3 going to the right, 3 going to the left in terms of breaths. And as you do these, it's okay to let your head dip. You don't need to actively tuck your chin to your chest, but do let your head fall. There's no need to do neck extension. Now we're going to flip around, cross our left foot in front of us the best we can. Again, line your knee up to your back knee. We're going to start in the center. So press in with both hands towards the center of your knee. 1, 2, and 3. Break off of it a little bit. I'm going to go to the left. So knee to left hand to knee, pressing into the floor towards one another. 3 deep breaths there. And we'll switch to the right. Same thing. 3 deep breaths that way. Whenever you're pressing to the hand that is, I guess, on the outside of you, on the outside of your hip, you should feel the stretch on the outside of your hip. When you're pressing in, you should feel it on the inner part of your thigh and on the inner part of your hip. From there, I would recommend finding a wall or a chair just for stability. But we're going to do basically an isometric hip flexion. So I'm going to get this wall here. What I like to do is have my elbow on the wall so I can use my hand as a wall for my knee to go up against. I'm not really fighting my hand or my knee. I'm not pressing into one another, but there is a little bit of pressure. We're going to hold 1, 2, 3, drop the foot, extend the hip, come back, 1, 2, 3. It's important to dorsiflex your foot when you do these, so toes up, and 1, 2, 3. From there, again, I use a wall just because I'm not concerned with balance whenever I'm doing this. I'm trying to get stretches in. I'm trying to be effective with the movement, not so much balance. I grab my foot with both hands, let my elbow keep me posted to the wall. I pull my toe up and I lean forward just a little bit to really get a good stretch on that psoas muscle here that connects your hip to your pelvis. I don't know about connection, but it's all right there. We'll do 3 deep breaths, 3 or so times, and then I'll go to the other wall. Same deal. Use my elbow as a post so that my knee can meet my fingertip. I'm not pressing in. It's not a real fight. It's just there to make contact. Extend the hip back and come back up for a good flexion. Each time you come up for flexion, you should notice that you're able to get your knee up just a little bit higher each time, or at least a little bit easier. You may not notice that in the beginning, but it is something to be paying a little bit of attention to. Again, use the wall if you need. Grab your foot from the back, bring your toe up, lean forward just a little bit to get a really good stretch on that psoas. We're going to hold that for about 3 deep breaths, 3 times. I just kind of go in things of 3 as a safe measure, or as like a rule of thumb. If you want to hold it longer, that's good. But what I will say about stretching in general is there's no need to hold a stretch for more than about 10 seconds. Think of how an animal stretches, you know, how a cat stretches or how a dog stretches. They just stretch for a short period of time, like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and they let off of it. They may go back into that stretch. They may not. It depends. But there's no need to hold a stretch for a super long time, ultimately. After that, I go back to the floor, and we're going to do some cobras and some child poses. I think that's what I would do next. It's weird whenever I'm not just in like the flow of it. So I'll do that. And then, yeah, go to the floor. I may try to do a headstand. I don't know. The floor is not very cushiony. We'll see. We'll see how I feel in a second. So for a cobra, the thing with that is you want to start on your stomach, hands just about on the outsides of your chest. You're going to push up, and you really want to flex your glutes. Squeeze your butt together. Flex your quad. Get out of here. Flex your quads. You're coming up. And flex those glutes. Lean back as far as you can. Extend your back. Don't force anything. Just as far as you feel good with. Take a couple breaths. Take a really deep breath. And go back a little further. You may need to readjust your hands. Hold that for just a couple breaths. Deep breath. A little further yet. There are some people that can literally touch their head to their butt. I don't understand that. But your feet should allow you to come off the floor entirely. Like I said, your quads should be flexed. Your glutes should be squeezed together. And that's it. Who joined in? Who joined in? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So now we're going to do a child pose. After that, again, hands just about shoulder width. I lower myself down as if I'm doing a push-up from my knees. Then we're going to press back and stick your butt out and just push away from your hands. Allow that lower back to stretch. Hold that for 3 good breaths. We're going to do that again. We're going to repeat that 3 times. Get out of here, man. I don't want kisses right now. I really don't. I really don't. Stretch, stretch, stretch. We'll do one more. Down and get you a good stretch. Now from here is whenever I would go into a chin stand. I'm going to give it a shot. I have this pillow here so that my face isn't eating a hard floor. I'm going to need to take my spacer out of my lip so I'm not stabbing my gums. See, just like how he did. They don't hold it for a long time. They hold it for just a couple seconds, long enough to get the stretch, and that's it. That was a good boy. Thanks for demonstrating. So we're going to try a headstand. I don't really know how to coach that. And it takes a lot of practice. Again, this may turn into a complete catastrophe. I don't think it will. We'll see, though. This is a different setup than what I'm used to doing this on. I will say, whenever I start to think about it, that's when things go wrong. I mean, of course, it does take some thought, but if I start to question it, then that's usually not a good thing. Hey, get out of here. Go on the couch. Get on the couch, please. Thank you. So your hands should be just about shoulder width. Your head should be basically lined up in between your hands. What we're going to do is lean in, lean into your face. From there, you're going to need to tuck your knees in towards your elbows. And then from there, if you're able to extend your legs up as far as you can. It takes a lot of core strength, a lot of balance. Again, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to just go ahead and get into it before I start to really question myself here. So I'm going to give it 3 tries. Hopefully we can get into it. This is just good for neck extension, holding it. This is something I do hold for as long as I can, just to try to go for a minute. That's my goal. I've gotten up to like 50 seconds before. Anyway, that didn't go well. Oh, it's so much different on a pillow. It's less stable. That was a fail. Dang it, dude. I want to do it. Let's see. It's just so different. One more try. Now I'm determined. One more try. I need to just not think about it. Just not think about it. Do it. There we go. That was it. 3rd time start. Can't breathe. So I'm going to come down. For me, it just loosens my neck. I was literally suffocating. For me, it just really loosens up my neck. Usually I'm able to pop it really good afterward. That time just then I didn't, because I popped it beforehand and I didn't hold that for very long. And that was kind of scary. So that was that. If you have a yoga block, grab one. If you don't have a yoga block, a water bottle will pretty much do you good as long as there's a decent amount of length on it, or even like a paper towel roll, that would work. So I'll show you. I'll show you with the paper towel roll, just so it's fair. I know that pretty much everyone has a paper towel roll at home. And if you don't, well then water bottle, or if you're lucky enough, a yoga block. Maybe that need to have a lot of weight to it. So now we're going to go to our back. We'll use that in just a second. I forgot that I got to do figure fours. I have a video on these as well. So for these, ideally, you want to be able to touch your toes with your fingertips just a little bit. Hands to your side, back to the floor. You're going to cross your leg over the top of your knee. Do your best to not dig your ankle into your quad. From here, you're going to push through the floor with the free, or the foot that's on the floor. Press your knee that's in the air down to flex your glutes, and then dorsiflex your foot. Hold that for 3 deep breaths. Let everything go and come down, and we'll do it again. Up, press your knee down, toes up, and hold. 2 and 3. Release. We'll do one more. You may need to readjust so that in case your knee, or I'm sorry, if your ankle slides up, you don't want to dig that into your quad. I promise it doesn't feel good. You should feel this stretch on the outside of your hips and in your glutes, and you may feel it pulling at your knee. As long as it doesn't hurt, do it. It's going to feel kind of weird, but as long as it doesn't actually hurt, you should be all good. So then we're going to switch it around. Who else jumped in here? Thanks for stopping by. Buster Fitness Journey. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Now we're going to do the other leg. Same deal. If you're able to keep that fingertip, able to touch your heel, great. You're going to bridge up, knee down, toe up. Again, you'll feel it on the other side now. Hold it for 3 breaths and let off. Up, knee down, toe up. Good 3 breaths or so. We're going to do one more. Then we'll get into the fun stuff. Up, down. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you've got your paper towel roll or your yoga block or whatever it is you may be using, this is when you'll need that. Similar to how we used our fingertip earlier for the static the static hip flexion. Same kind of thing. This is going to act as a wall. You're not really fighting, but it is there to push into, if that makes any kind of sense. So go back to your back, 1 foot on the ground. If you're able to touch your heel, great. You're going to have this, ideally, well, not ideally, for certain, the hand that's holding the paper towel, that arm, your tricep needs to stay on the floor. Your elbow needs to stay on the floor. You're going to get your foot up, dorsiflex that foot, and you're going to rotate your hip by bringing your foot towards you and pressing in your knee towards the paper towel. Dorsiflex those toes. Hold for just a second. Let off. Let everything relax. And then go back into it. Rotate that hip. Press your knee in the towel. Toe up. Hold for a moment. 3 breaths. Let it relax, and we'll do one more. Your foot really needs to be up there. It doesn't need to just be down here. It needs to be up there. Keep it above your knee at least. Press and toe up. 1, 2, 3. You should feel the stretch on the outside of your hip, and you should feel a contraction on the inner part of your thigh. It is definitely flexing hard. You should feel a good flex. Maybe not in the beginning necessarily because you're kind of playing with it, but as you get used to doing that, you should really learn how to and become familiar with pressing in and being able to hold that. So now we'll do the other side. Get that towel roll or the yoga block up. Elbow stays on the floor. Rotate the hip. Toe up. Press in towards the towel roll. Towel roll towards the knee. 1, 2, 3. Relax a second. Get ready. We're going to rotate it just a bit more. Press in. Toe up. 1, 2, 3. Relax. We'll do one more. Boom. And 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So that is the rehab that I learned from having to rehab my hips. From there, if you have a foam roller, awesome. If you don't have a foam roller, a tennis ball or a baseball is also good. But I'm fortunate enough that my tribal queen brought a foam roller. So I foam roll pretty much my whole body. I'll show you. So get kind of on the edge of the foam roller and dig it in to your outside of your hip, in between your glutes. Roll around on that a few times. Get loose with it. You really shouldn't roll something for more than like 20 to 30 seconds. If you don't feel any relief after that, move on. So we'll do it that side, just like I said, kind of on the edge of the roller there. And then you'll probably be able to see it better this way. On the edge here, we're just rolling back and forth, just loosening up, staying nimble so that we can continue to do the things that we do. Got to be able to do cardio, got to be able to lift relatively heavy, and this does me that. From there, I roll my hamstrings. So similar to that figure 4, get the foam roller behind your leg, have your other leg crossed up on top of it, and you're going to roll back and forth. Back and forth. Use your hands as your connection point and press and kind of pull back with your palms. Roll on that for a second. Go the other leg, same thing. Crossover, so that way most of your body weight is on one side. You could do it with both, but why not get the most out of it, you know? What are you doing? Then I go to my calves and my gastrocs. So I start at my ankles, same kind of deal. Cross over a little bit. Oh, that one always gets me in. roll. I kind of twist or roll my leg side to side as well. So I'm just getting the whole thing best I can. Stay on that for not too long, but long enough. Same thing on the other one. Crossover. Oh my God, that gets me. Apparently I needed that. Apparently I needed this. So this is good. Do that for a little bit. Oh boy. Then, is there something I can help you with? Go get your toy. Go get that toy. Give me that. I don't know why he likes to talk to you like that. It's crazy. Then I roll my back. This can be tricky. I do roll out my lumbar, and I'll feel like a popping. It's not painful, but I definitely can feel it. Adjust. And I roll on that side, predominantly on my right side. My left side doesn't give me too much issues. On my right, though, I feel that. I really feel that in a good way. Then I'll go to the top. Again, now I'm using my heels as my spot to push and pull. And now for the top, I have my hands behind my head. I do pull my neck up for some flexion a little bit. And I roll the upper part of my back. And pretty much every time, especially the first roll, it pops like bubble wrap. Every time. Doesn't matter. It just does. Now, I'm going to foam roll the inside of my hip. Again, this is kind of tricky, but with practice, you'll get it. You want to use the edge of the foam roller lengthwise. Get it right underneath your knee. We're going to go side to side. I'm using my free leg as a place now to push and pull with my toe. I'm going back and forth there. You may need to readjust it. I'll go from your knee up towards your groin and back. And we'll switch around. Same thing on the other side. Get that edge right there on your knee and boom. Roll it out best you can. Then from there, I go and roll my quads. This is always fun. So I get on my elbows, or elbow at least. I have one foot in the air, other quad on the thing, and now I'm using my elbow to push and pull me back and forth. I go as high as my TFL, which is one of your hip extenders. Oh, back and forth. Oh, why is that so intense right now? Because the foam roller is rigid. I usually use a smooth foam roller. This is a whole different thing. Go to the other side, push, pull as high as the TFL, as low as the knee. And then, if it's chest day, I'll roll my chest. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll roll my shins first. So start right below the knee now, cross over, and you're going to bring your knee towards your chest and kick back out. Roll it that way as long as you need. That doesn't feel too good with the original one, I'm not going to lie. Not too good in a good way, but like it just kind of feels uncomfortable. So do that for as long as you need, not too long. And then for the chest, I get it right at my collarbones, hands behind my back, and I use my toes to push and pull me back. Feels good. Wouldn't think it by the way I sound, but it does feel good. Whew. We'll do one more just for the love. Oh boy. All right. We're done with the foam roller. Get rid of that. Now it's time for static stretching. I will show you this the best I can. The angle isn't favorable entirely, but for the first couple, we'll be on our back. So have one leg flat to the floor, other leg up in the air. Grab it right above the back of your knee. You want to have your back flat to the floor the whole time. Dorsiflex your foot, so toes up. You're going to pull back on your leg as far as you can. Again, don't force anything. Breathe a few times. Take a deep breath. Exhale, and as you exhale, pull it back a little further. Keep those toes flexed up the best you can. Breathe, breathe. Deep breath and exhale. Back even a little further. And just do it as far as you feel good with. You may not get too far the first couple of times that you do this, but with time, you will notice that you're able to pull it back without it feeling like you're even stretching as much. But you are stretching. It's just there's a certain limit in most cases as to how far you can go. So then we'll do the other side. Again, right above the back of the knee, toes up, back flat to the floor. You're going to pull, hold, dorsiflex those toes, big breath in. Exhale, let it come back a little further. All right. Now we're going to do what is basically a windmill stretch. So you're going to want to kind of turn to the side a little bit. Take the leg that's going to go on top. You're going to bring it over. Have your hand that's on the same side, the leg that's on top, up at about a 90-degree angle to your head. Grab your calf. Dorsiflex your toes. Pull, hold for about 3 breaths. And whenever you take a deep breath in, pull it a little further. Deep breath in and pull. I usually do 2 for that one just because it can go pretty far just with a couple deep breaths. Then I'm going to switch over. Same thing. Free hand about 90 degrees to my head. Grab my leg with my other hand at the calf. Dorsiflex the toes. The leg that's not being grabbed should be as straight as possible. Don't lock your knee out, but it doesn't need to be bent. We're going to pull. A couple deep breaths. Then deep breath in. Exhale. Let it come back further. We're going to do one more. Deep breath in. Exhale. Phew. All right. I'm going to wave at all y'all real quick while I'm up. Thanks for stopping by for any amount of time. It's appreciated. And now that I'm thinking about it too, I have a soda in the freezer that I'm going to go take advantage of real quick before it explodes. So next, we're still going to be on everything. Well, not everything, but the next few, we're going to be on the ground. It's not a live stream without a diet soda. That's all I can say. So now we're going to do what is called a 90-90. Ideally, you're going to have whatever leg you want forward. Have your knee at a 90-degree angle. Have your other leg at a 90-degree angle. Your front heel should line up to your back knee, and your chest should line up over your front knee. We're going to pull our toes up, lean forward, 3 deep breaths. With each breath, you should feel yourself sink just a little bit lower. Then we're going to come up. The back foot needs to go up on the toe. So your whole leg's going to come up off the floor about that much whenever you go to your toe. And from there, you're going to swing your heel in and do your best to push your knee back as far as you can. Really open those hips. Go back to the toe. Drop the knee back down. And we'll do that just one more time. Your foot should go to flat eventually. It may not happen the first few times, but eventually you want your foot to be able to go flat. And then we're going to go back to the toe. From here, this one can be tricky. If you have lower back issues, I wouldn't recommend this. But we're going to lean back just a little bit. Try not to twist, right? You do just want to lean as much straight back as you can. Pretty much every time I do this, I feel my back adjust. That's why I do it. I feel like I literally feel it, and I feel better after doing that. And if it doesn't do it with this, it'll usually do it with a dead hang, which I usually do with this as well, but I don't have a bar. So from here, you can either just kind of switch around and do the same thing this way. So you'll just switch, line your heel to your knee, chest to your knee, lean forward, 3 deep breaths, and repeat. But I think it's pretty cool if you're able to work your way up to do a dynamic 90-90. So once you come out of your backward stretch there, it takes practice. I couldn't do this for a while. You're going to have your toes up. The way that I think of it is that I'm digging my heels into the floor, using my core and upper body to rotate. Keep your heels down best you can. And now you're lined up the other way, pretty much perfectly. You may have to do a little bit of readjustment. But again, lean forward, 3 deep breaths. Then we're going to go do that little hip swing, go to your toe, open as good as you can. Try to get your foot to the flat. Then lower your knee, go back to the toe, and then swing that heel in and under your leg. Hold that for a second. Let it down. Lean back a little bit. It doesn't pop this way for me, only whenever I lean back with my left leg forward. Now we'll go back to our position. Dig your heels in, dorsiflex your toes. Use your upper body and core to help you rotate. Keep those heels down. And now from here, we're going to go to what is basically, I guess, a clamshell, but not quite. So if you're able to, don't worry about being super flexible. I'll just show you. Just start here, have one leg there, go cross leg best you can. If you're able to get your foot on top of your knee on top of your foot, that's good. I pull my toes. In this case, I pull them down, lean forward, hold it for a few breaths. Let it off a little bit and then go back in a little bit further forward. And then I switch everything up. So just switch foot placement. And again, lean forward, pull down on those toes. You should feel that stretch mostly on the leg that's on top on the outside of your hip. Now from there, we go to clamshells or butterflies. So you're able to get your feet together, have your knees just kind of where they feel comfortable. I grab my toes. I guess you don't really have to. But I do, just to keep my feet together more or less. I flutter a few times. Then from there, I bring my feet towards me, lean forward a little bit. Again, not forcing anything. I'm just going as far good as I feel good with. Lean, get that stretch. Let off a little bit. And again, just a few breaths at a time. Then let off, deep breath, and you can go down just a little bit further. Now that we've stretched out our hips, what up? Thanks for joining Fit and Fabulous. Now that we've stretched out our hips, it is now time to stretch out our hamstrings. So I start with one knee bent with my foot basically lined up to my thigh, and I go and just grab on one side there, pulling that toe up best I can. I'm great. How are you? I'm even better now that my hips are all getting loose and stuff. I'm going to be ready to dance. Pull up, hold for just a second. For this one, I don't do it like the 3 breaths of 3 times. I just kind of lean forward and play with it a little bit. And then I switch sides. So line this foot up to the inner part of that thigh. Grab that toe. What up? Who's that? Mule Goat Fit Code. Cool. Thanks for, I think that's who that said. Yeah, thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Then I lean forward. I don't know if you can really see. I'll scoot over a little bit. Lean forward, pull that toe up. And again, I just kind of lean with it and rock with it. I'm not doing a super static stretch. I'm just getting as much as I can. And from there, I do both feet out. Again, with these, ideally, you want your legs to stay pretty much flat to the floor. these things. Heck yeah, it is. I agree. At the end of every workout, I spend a decent amount of time stretching so that I can work out again the next day. So feet out to the side, as wide as you feel good with. And we're going to grab each toe, lean forward a little bit, pull those toes towards you. Let that back stretch. Let your hamstring stretch. Let your calves and gastroc stretch. Just get a whole stretch there. Do that for, a little bit. Not more than probably 30 seconds, as I said earlier. Think of it how animals stretch. And then I bring my feet together and go even a little bit further. Since I have less distance between my feet, I'm able to lean forward just a little bit further. Hold that for however long, not too long, not too short. Get your sip of your diet soda, of course. From there, the rest of it is standing up for me. So I stand up, I roll up my yoga mat, or rather Tina's yoga mat. This is not mine, but I appreciate her letting me use it and leaving it here. She and I are the only one that touch these things. I don't let other people lay on it. So now we're going to stretch the hips out and hamstrings out. Just stretch out the whole thing. Have your feet wider than your hips, considerably so. You may not start out super wide, but they do need to be wider than your hips. They don't need to stay parallel. So how am I going to explain this? The side that you plan to lean to, and you'll see in just a second, that foot needs to point straight out to the side. So I'm going to lean to my right. I'm going to cock my right foot out so that it is then 90 degrees to my other foot. I'm going to bend my knee, sit into that the best I can, and I feel a great stretch on the inner part of the other leg that is extended. Rock back and forth a few times there. Bring my feet back to parallel. Now I'm going to lean this way, so that foot's going to need to go straight. And I'm going to bend the knee, get some good extension on that leg. Just kind of rock back and forth with it. I usually do it like 3 times, just like 3 bounces there. From there, get the feet back to parallel or close to it. Toes are pointed out just a little bit at the same angle, basically. This one's hard, not going to lie. But I like it. Ideally, your knees do need to stay straight. Try not to lock them out, but keep them straight. You're not actively going to bend your knees. From here, we're going to lean forward, hinge at the hips a little bit, and walk it out as far as you can. I go to my elbows, breathe a little bit. Feet should stay flat to the floor the best you can. If they start to come up, that means it's time to stand back up. And we go back in. Walk it back in. Stick your butt out a little bit like your mama gave it to you. And then we're going to walk it back out just one more time. Go as far out as you can. Breathe a few times. Ideally, you want your hips, or at least your quads, to be able to hit the floor. Mine just barely did. That's okay. Walk it back in, stick your butt out a second, bring your feet together. What y'all saying in here? Thank you, I appreciate it. No, then you got to practice your balance. If you lose your balance, you got to practice that too. You have great. I appreciate that. I really do. I put a lot of effort into my legs, I must say. Now, if only my dog would want to interrupt. At this second, we're going to get into a downward dog. So feet together, hands wherever you're at. You're going to hinge at the hip. Do your best to touch your toes at least, or hopefully the floor. We're going to walk it out as far as we can. Again, with this, your heels, ideally, your toes are going to. Your heels need to stay on the floor. Once they start to come up, you can either push back, and that may make them go down, or it's time to just walk it back in. However you want to play that. If you're not able to get your heels to the ground, it's just time to walk it in. We're going to do that one more time. Sometimes when I stand up, I'll go side to side just to see if it'll pop again. It usually doesn't. Go back down, touch the floor, you walk it out, kind of lean back and forth with your hips, and walk it back in. Now this last thing that I do does require a lot of balance. I would almost recommend doing it with your shoes off just so that you're able to grab the floor with your feet. I don't know if there's a lot of like practicality to this, but I just think it feels good. It looks kind of cool. And why not? So it's basically, I've named it. I don't know if this is what it is actually called. I've never seen anyone else do it. Not saying I invented it, but I call it a single leg dragon deadlift. I don't use any weight with it. I have before. There's a video of it on here. But whenever it comes to this, I'm going to get my foot, bring it back behind my leg that I'm standing on, grab onto it. Don't worry about doing anything fancy with that foot. I'm going to extend my arm that is free in front of me. Keep your knee relaxed and hinge at the hips. Stick your butt out. Sit into your hip as far as you can. Hopefully you can touch the ground. Hold it for a second and stand out of it. Now from there, I let go, kick it out, grab same side, hand to foot, extend same hand that is connected with my foot. Same thing, lean forward, hinge at the hip, sit into your hip the best you can, touch the floor if you're able to, and stand back out of it. Then, you guessed it, we go to the other side and everything remains the same. Grab opposite foot to hand, extend this arm out, hinge at the hip as far as you feel good with, knee relaxed, touch the floor, stand out of it. Whoa. Then same side, losing my balance a little bit there. And again, hinge at the hip. This time, whenever I do that way, I can feel my hip kind of pop. It's just tendon rolling over. It doesn't hurt. I just notice it. And stand out of it. And that's it. That's it right there. It does not typically take me 45 minutes to do all of that at the gym. I have super bad foot, makes it hard. Hey man, we gotta practice it. You're a functional trainer. We gotta figure it out. Message me and we can talk about it. There's something called short foot. Look it up. It's basically grabbing the ground with your feet. That helps with your balance. Also, if you can roll your foot out with like a baseball or a tennis ball even at the bottom to get your arches up, that can help your feet. That's really all I would say. There's other things, but that is like a good place to start. Rolling your foot with a ball is a super good place to start, or like any kind of thing that is circular that's not too large. That typically doesn't take me 45 minutes. Usually all of that takes about 25 to 30, depending on how diligent I'm being. Obviously, I'm not instructing that every time I do it, so that's why it doesn't normally take me 45 minutes. But like I said at the beginning of this, I do all of that plus dead hangs just to stretch my back. I do all of that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then I do a different split that I'll show here in a few weeks to keep consistent with the workouts of the week. I do a different split on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, and Sunday. On Sunday, I do everything. Sunday's my rehab day. That's the day we spend. That's the day we spend the most time getting ourselves right and getting right with God. 100%. That's whenever I do these stretches. The first thing I do, especially as of recently, is I put on Amazing Grace, and like from there, just whatever comes on afterwards. But it's like a spiritual moment in a way, and it's nice. But as I was saying, I'll do the second split of all this that I do a few weeks from now. And in between, I think 2 weeks from today, I'll do my best to do a live stream that shows a full body warm up. for people that are just getting into it, people that are needing to stay limber, people that are actively avoiding injuries or rehabbing injuries. I'll hit pretty much the whole body, like I said. But for anyone that stopped by on these, one of them is going to go on YouTube, one of them is going to go on Instagram. It's the same thing. But I figured instead of having like a 50-minute video to try to upload from my phone to YouTube, just go live there and basically have the same exact video. So for anyone that stopped by, I appreciate it. For anyone that sees this in the future, I also appreciate it. I hope that this can help you gain mobility, flexibility, strength, you name it, in your hips and in your hamstrings. Like I said, like I did this in a clinic for like 8 months, and I didn't notice a lot of like difference right in the beginning, but over time I definitely noticed difference in mobility, especially flexibility, strength, all the things that I just named. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it as always. If you need a trainer, anything like that, I'm available for it. Spots are filling up. Get in while you can still get it at a lower price, because prices are going to go up the more I get booked and just with how things are going in general. So I'm out of here. And if you ever need a friend, I do my best to be available for that as well. Messages are always open so long as you're not weird about it. And there's been a few times that it's gotten kind of weird. But nonetheless, I'm out of here. Take care of yourselves. The world is a crazy place, and all we can do is support each other, build each other, and encourage one another to be better each and every single day. Give change a chance. I love you all. Enjoy your night, day, afternoon. I'm out of here. Get strong. Peace.